for those of you guys that feel like, this market is too crazy, you can't afford something, maybe you can start with a small 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo. Where I'm at today is not where I started. I started with a small home in Seattle area. I was able to renovate just the kitchen, learn how to renovate that, and added, floorings and renovated the basement. And that's kind of how I got started in 2003. I am here in Edmonds, Washington, a property I recently purchased. If you have seen some of the videos I posted, you can see this property has completely changed from what it was before. 5 major items that we have done for this project, which included electrical, plumbing, a lot of framing work. We have done some windows, some siding work. So I'm going to walk through the house and show you guys what were the costs to replace these big ticket items like the HVAC unit. Let's talk about one of the items the inspector checked. Framing. The major item that we had to add was 2 beams to open up the space in the living space, but majority of the framing happened in the garage. Originally this room was a garage. Now we added 2 bedrooms, an office space, as well as a mechanical room and bathroom. So all this section of the house has been new frames. So those were inspected, everything is good. But if we walk towards the back of the home here, this is another room that was added, which is the utility room. And the utility rooms have like the big ticket items. We got the furnace, we got the water tank, and the electrical panel. Let's talk about the electrical panel. The old wires were all pulled out. There were some wires that were wired incorrectly. To make it safe, instead of fixing those wires, we actually put a new panel in, ran new lines for the oven, all the outlets, all the can lights that the house have, for the dishwasher. So all the wires are brand new, and the inspector have given us the green light to go ahead and move on to the next phase of the electrical. But for now, everything is wired, everything is labeled. In general, the cost for me to replace all these wires was about $16,000 to $18,000. For me, it's good because now I know the house is safe, all the electricals are done correctly. And this is something I probably never have to touch, for the rest of this house existent. In the same room, we do have the HVAC unit. I chose to replace the old furnace out and put in a new unit. And this unit actually is kind of cool because it's a heat pump, which is energy efficient, but it also does heating and cooling. So it was worth replacing it. And again, from this unit, they ran new ducting for the bedrooms, the hallways, the kitchens, the bathrooms. So there's brand new ductings running everywhere throughout the house. This home will have air conditioning and heating. There's a main unit here. It runs off of gas, and there's a unit outside for the air conditioning. So in total, the cost of these replacing and running new ducting was about $23,000. I had a company come out. Again, inspection was completed, everything is passed. We also have the water tank. So it's a busy room in here. This is a brand new water tank. It runs off electrical. One of the things that the inspector had me fix was there's a drainage that goes out here. If the water start leaking, instead of having it leak this way, it will leak out. So we added some plumbing work to push the water out. So yeah, very busy room. We got the furnace, the water tank, and electrical. And let's go in the back and check out some of the other items we have. One of the items the inspector looked at was plumbing. Plumbing was all replaced here. Previously, it was old galvanized plumbing. So we ripped all the plumbing out, all of the drains out, and ran new lines to all the bathrooms, all the kitchens, the laundry rooms. So all the lines in this house are brand new. We actually use PEX plumbing. They're also insulated. Part of the requirement for the inspection, they had to be insulated. And these big black plumbing that you see are all the drainage. So we have the sink over here. We got toilet. You can see it's all draining in a certain way. The reason for that is it's going to the sewer line, which leads in the back of the house all the way out to the main street. So when the inspector came, those are the items he was looking for, that nothing was leaking, everything was according to plan. And also, especially something I found out with the drain line, that we're supposed to fill it with water. and have the inspector inspect it, and it's more of so the water is not leaking, you know, on the toilet lines and things like that. So everything looked good and everything passed, so I'm happy. We move on to the next part of the project. This is the other part of the house that the beam was installed, and kitchen is here. Again, all the plumbing work that was done, you can see yellow lines, all the electrical work, the plumbing, the sink will be right there. We got the drain system going here, all the outlets, you know, at cabinet level. We can walk around this way, which leads to the second bathroom. On the second bathroom, new plumbing, you can see all the lines that have been run. We have the shower set right there, the toilet here, and also the sink right there as you're coming in. Everything was inspected, everything passed, electrical, plumbing, drain system, good to go for this side of the house. So on the outside, the major change that we made was this used to be the garage right here. We put new siding on. We use square shaped siding, and we added a little bit of stone. We don't want people driving to look at this side of the house and think, was there in a garage there or something like that? So now it just looks like it's been there. It actually looks better than what it was before. So that's the major change that we made in the garage and the siding side. And it looks pretty good to me. That completes the renovation of phase 2 of this project. I'm super excited that it's done. Inspection has passed. I'm ready to move on to phase 3. And phase 3 is usually the cool part of the project, you know, more the glamorous part of the project. We get to pick new cabinets for the kitchen, new tiles for the bathrooms, new flooring. We get to put on the walls, the doors, and paint them. So ready for that, and I'll make sure to share those videos with you as soon as I'm complete with that project. Again, in these videos, when you're watching, you might be saying, hey, you know, it's great for you to be buying these properties, renovating them, adding values to them, and renting them out. And we can't even buy properties right now. You know, where I'm at today is not where I started. I started with a small home in Seattle area. I was able to renovate just the kitchen, learn how to renovate that, and added, you know, floorings and renovated the basement. And that's kind of how I got started in 2003. For those of you guys that feel like, you know, this market is too crazy, you can't afford something, maybe you can start with a small 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo. You still do the same thing. You still have to renovate, meaning that you might have to tear down the cabinets and install new cabinets. You might have to do new flooring. You might have to do painting and things like that. So you're still repeating some of the projects that you'll be doing in a big scale, but you're learning and you're grinding and learning that process. The more property we renovate, the more property we put in rental, that helps us to build generational wealth. And if you don't have the budget, start small and work your way up. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Until next time.